Hello. Yes, students, I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Board
sir.
is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We will start with, again, recall the concepts antenna. Antenna, I've already told you, it is in a metallic device. It may be a metallic device because presently antenna are, wearable antennas are also used. So antenna may be a metallic device, so which is used to radiate, means transmit or receive the data. Antenna is maybe a metallic device which may be metallic or any other type of device used to transmit or receive the data. So there is a various type of antennas are available. If you do remember that I have shared one my research paper with you, a journey of antenna from dipole to fractal. Journey of antenna from dipole to fractal. Basic antenna and fractal antenna is widely used presently. So antenna has traveled a long journey. Right now, what is the requirement of the designers while they need the antenna? So what is the requirement? What is their need? It should be focused on that. Fractal antenna, before that microstrip patch antenna. That is here on your screen. Microstrip patch antenna is also compact in size. So what is need? First one, what is required? Compact sized antenna. Compact sized antenna, and then it would be able to perform various functions, means multifunctional. It should be multifunctional. For example, if I design an antenna, it should be able to cover WiMAX band, WLAN band, satellite. It should be useful for the satellite communication. So this is the need. Apart from this, what is required? Easy to fabricate. Easy to fabricate. Okay, fine. I need compact size antenna. I need multifunctional antenna. Easy to for the fabrication. High performance parameters. High performance parameters. For example, good gain, reflection coefficient, VSWR. What would be its parameters? Based on it, it is being evaluated. That is reflection coefficient, VSWR, directivity, and gain. Apart from this, there is many other patterns like distribution factor, axial ratio, efficiency. So this is the requirement. We need the compact size antenna, and we also need that it should be economical. It should be economical. Microstrip patch antenna, though fulfills such type of requirements, but it has certain limitations which is being overcome by the fractal antenna. So various type of the shapes, you can check on your screens. MPA is available in the various shapes. That is, it may be sphere, rectangular, dipole, circular, triangular, elliptical, circular ring. And these are not the fixed shapes. Apart from this, you can design as per your requirement. So microstrip patch antenna will be easy to fabricate on. Will be easy to fabricate on PCB, printed circuit board. That's why it is compact. That's why it is compact. So what is required if I'm designing an antenna? So it should has to be, feed should has to be given to it. If it is not excited, it will not work. So there is any, broadly we classified the feed into two categories that are contacting. Feed is contacted with the antenna. Next is a non-contacting. Further, these are classified into two categories. One is, here we can say that contacting and non-contacting. Further, it is classified into two categories. One is a line feed. It is also said as microstrip line feed. Another is a coaxial feed. Coaxial feed. And then is, as per the non-contacting is concerned, it has been classified as proximity coupled. Proximity coupled, and another is a aperture coupled. So these are the non-contacting. It is even these are also used in the fractal antenna too. So fractal antenna, this has made the revolution in the field of antenna history. Fractal. Fractal was the word derived from Latin word. Fractal is a word which is derived from the Latin word whose meaning is fracture, means broken. First person who introduced this fractal geometry, that was B. Mendel Moth. His name is being displayed on your screen. So what exactly is a fractal? He defined that it is a geometry which repeats itself, in certain intervals and iterations. Geometry which repeats itself either in particular scale with different iterations. So same kind of geometry. So if let us say this is the coach curve, it's fractal geometry. If I have to, this is the 0th iteration. If I go for the first iteration, I should have to divide it into 3 parts like this. Further, it has to be divided into this parts. Same procedure will be adopted here. Same here. This will become the first iteration. Now for the second iteration, this part should has to be broken into the similar kind of shapes. This part should has to be in this way. This part should has to be in this way, and this process will continue like this. For this, and same procedure we will follow for this one. Same procedure for the next part. So you can see that in the second iteration, it is going to be complex. If I'll go for the third iteration, so this has to be broken into 3 parts, which would be quite cumbersome. So that's why fractal geometry is said to be complex geometry, but it has also one advantage that it exhibits large surface area in limited space. It exhibits large surface area in limited space. One thing can be derived from here, geometry which repeats itself in particular scale in different iterations. You can say that particular scale is there. iteration, zeroth iteration, first iteration, second iteration. So this made it as a popular geometry, but though it is a complex geometry, but there is two key properties of the fractal. One is the space filling, another is a self similarity. Space filling, self similarity. So these properties also play vital role in the designing of fractal geometries. Space filling property is used to reduce the size of antenna. So what is our first requirement if we design any antenna? It should be compact. Space filling property, it should reduce the size of antenna. As for the self similarity property, it helps to attain the multi-band / wideband characteristics. Multi-band and wideband characteristics. So from here you can judge that this plays vital role to attain multifunctional characteristics. Multifunctional process. So that's why fractal antenna is preferred among all the existing antennas. So these geometries are used to design it. So from your screen, you can visualize that there is a various type of the fractals are available. The Mandelbrot was expired from these natural fractals. Here you can see that this figure. It is repeating itself in a certain scale. Same in the peacock fence. Rest you can also check in the another figures available on the screen. So these are of similar kinds. So these are called natural fractals. And normally in life, daily life, we see coastlines, broccoli, snowflakes. These are the examples are also considered as any natural fractals. Different types of the fractal antennas. There is a various type of the fractal antennas are available. Sierpinski carpet, Sierpinski gasket, Sierpinski carpet is in a form of sphere. This is the zeroth iteration. In next iteration, you should have to extract similar kind of spheres. Means this type of spheres it should has to be extracted. From the figure further, same process has to be adopted. So you can check on the screen, this process has been displayed. And similarly, Sierpinski gasket, it also goes in the same way. For example, you can visualize on this blackboard also. Let us say this is the triangle. Carpet is related to sphere. Hello. Carpet is related to sphere and gasket is related to triangle. First iteration, zeroth iteration. In first iteration, we should have to extract one triangle from here. In next iteration, this would be there. This is the place. From here, you should have to extract one triangle. From here, you have to extract one triangle. From here, you have to extract one triangle. This is for the first zeroth iteration. This is first iteration. This is the second iteration. And similarly, you can pursue for the next iterations. So different type of the fractal geometries are available to design the fractal antennas. Are Sierpinski carpet, Sierpinski gasket, Koch fractal I have already explained it to you. Minkowski curve. Then there is a Giuseppe piano, Mander geometry, Hilbert curves. You can clearly visualize that these are repeating itself in some pattern. So here you can see that this and this pattern is being repeated over here. So this is the zeroth iteration, first, second, third, boom. So keeping this under consideration, some mathematical tool was also developed, because one thing has been noticed by the distinguished researchers that these are repeating itself in certain scale. So it means some iterative functions system means recursive procedure. Iterative function system or recursive procedure. Iterative function system, and you can also use recursive procedure has been applied over here. So there is a various mathematical tools has been suggested by the distinguished scientists to design this fractal geometry. Iterative function system is one of them. So here on your screen, why antenna designing is required? So one thing can come in your mind that various scientists has done research in this direction, then why this is required? So answer is in first line, because designed antenna is either bulky, space consuming or large in size. Because there is always a never ending technology, there is always a requirement of what? Compact size, whatever the compact we can make. So compact is in a never ending thing. So we can say that first one is in need. First one will come as compact size. Then there should be a performance parameters. It's performance parameters. Which includes reflection coefficient, voltage standing wave ratio, gain, directivity. And fractal antenna also helps to attain the miniaturization. Miniaturization stands for reducing the size of antenna. Reducing the size of antenna. So we need to design the antenna which should be multifunctional. Multifunctional means it should exhibit wideband or multi-band characteristics. Then it would be multifunctional. So these problems can be overcome by using various and fractal geometries. You may also fuse together, means hybrid fractal geometries can also be used. So how to evaluate the antenna? So first of all, it's performance parameters. First of all, it's performance parameters. Next, I have designed one antenna. But I know that there is a various antennas are also being designed by the distinguished scholars. So I should have to make the comparison of existing antennas. So which one is better? So why it is good? Based on comparison, how you can make the comparison based on this performance parameters. Even though few of the researchers can also compromise on these parameters on the sake of the compact size. So, but what is the requirement? What is the need of the market? A compact sized antenna with high performance parameters. So we will exercise the numericals, few numericals based on it, which we have earlier done. But the topics we have used covered. So there is any numerical is an antenna has a radiation resistance of 72 ohms. This is the radiation resistance. 72 ohm is a radiation resistance. A loss of resistance is 8 ohm. Loss resistance is of 8 ohm. 72 ohm is a radiation resistance. Loss resistance is 8 ohm. And a power gain of 12 decibel. Power gain of 12 decibel. Determine the antenna efficiency and directivity. Efficiency and directivity. Radiation resistance is given to you. Loss resistance is given to you. And gain, this is gain, power gain. Power gain is given to you. You have to find out the efficiency and directivity. Efficiency is denoted by eta. So that is always equals to power gain to the differential gain, power gain to the differential gain, or the ratio of the power gain to the differential gain, ratio of the radiation resistance rate divided by sum of radiation resistance and loss resistance. So this is marked as RR. This is said to be RL. If I'll substitute over here 72 upon 72 plus 8, that would be 72 by 80. So its efficiency will be 0.9. And its efficiency will be 0.9. You have to find the directivity, GD. GD will be equal to GP by theta. GD will be equal to GP by theta. You can substitute the values over here. You can get the value of directivity. Tell here any student has any query, feel free to ask. Yes, students. If you have
No,
any
sir.
query, feel very good.
No.
So moving further, there is another numerical. You can keep your pen and copy with you. A power gain test of reference antenna. A power gain test of reference antenna and a test antenna is given as and test antenna is given as input part to the reference antenna is 40 millivolt. Input part to the reference antenna is 40 millivolt. Input part to the test antenna is 100 millivolt. Input part to the test antenna is 100 milliwatt. This is the data has been given to you. You have to find out the power gain. You have to compute the power gain. I repeat the question. Power gain test of reference antenna and the test antenna has been given in the form of data. So data is input part to the reference antenna is 40 milliwatt. Input part to the test antenna is 100 milliwatt. You have to find out the power antenna, power gain of the antenna. That is always equals to 10 log 10 input power to the reference antenna divided by input power to the test antenna. We will substitute these values. That would be equal to 10 log 10 input power to the reference antenna. What is given to you? That is 40 milliwatt. 40 means 10 raised to power minus 3. Input part to the test antenna, that is 100 milli. 100 milli. You can see this is 100 milli. 100 into 10 raised to power minus 3. This will get cancelled. So it will be 10 log 10, 0.4. If you will compute this value, you will get after taking the logarithm of log 0.4, so you can get the value of GP. So if is there any student has query related to this numerical, feel free to ask. This is understood to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
fine. So we will pursue for the another numerical. If the radiation resistance is 72 ohm, if the radiation resistance is 72 ohm and loss resistance is 8 ohm. Loss resistance is 8 ohm. Radiation resistance RR is this. Loss resistance is 8 ohm. Find the directivity. Find the directivity if power gain is 16. GD you have to find out. GP is equals to 16. I repeat the question. Radiation resistance is given to you 72 ohm. Loss resistance is given to you 8 ohm. You have to find out the directivity means GD, and this is equals to GP is equals to 16. Efficiency, we know that RR upon RR plus RL again 72 upon 72 plus 8. That would be 0.9. So efficiency we have computed, this is 0.9. Efficiency is also can be defined in a form of GP by GD. GP by GD. So what is required? You need to compute the directivity, that is GD. GD is equals to GP by efficiency. What is the GP? GP is given to you 16. 16 by 0.9. You will get 16 into 10 by 9. That is equals to 17.78. 17.78. Till here, any student has any query? Feel free to ask.
No, sir.
Next numerical is calculate the maximum effective aperture. Calculate the maximum effective aperture of a microwave antenna. Maximum effective aperture of microwave antenna. This you have to find, calculate. With the directivity 900. Directivity is given to you 900. Aperture is denoted by symbol A subscript T. If it is maximum, it would be AE maximum. You have to write in this way. A subscript T and maximum. AE maximum you have to compute. So formula is D is equals to 4 pi by lambda square into AE maximum. D is equals to 4 pi by lambda square into AE maximum. So you have to substitute this value. Here, first of all, you can rearrange it as AE maximum is equals to D into lambda square by 4 pi. Rearranging it, you can get D into lambda square by 4 pi. Again, D is equals to 900 lambda square upon 4 pi. Solving this, you will get its values nearly equal to 71.62 lambda square. You will get maximum effective aperture of microwave antenna is 71.62 lambda square. In case lambda is given to you, you can substitute that. Otherwise, you can write the answer in a form of lambda. You can write the answer in a form of lambda. So this is how we can compute maximum effective aperture of the microwave antenna. Any student has any query related to it, feel free to ask.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Good. Calculate the gain of next is next we will pursue for the another numerical. So for the next numerical, calculate the gain of antenna. Calculate the gain of antenna. Calculate the gain of antenna with a circular aperture of diameter, with circular aperture of diameter 3 meter at 5 gigahertz. 3 meter at 5 gigahertz. You have to find out the gain of antenna. So you know that we have done in the basics, J is equals to KD. You have to substitute the value of D 4 by lambda square, AE maximum. This we have already done. So here you have to check out that what is given to you. For ideal antenna, we have to assume ideal antenna. Ideal means isotropic antenna which is radiating, or either omnidirectional antenna which is radiating the waves or signals in all the directions in the same ratio. So here K is said to be 1. So from here you can get the value of G. G can be said as equals to 4 pi by lambda square AE maximum. 4 pi by lambda square AE maximum by substituting the value of K is equals to 1. Now diameter is given to you. So you need to compute the aperture area, that is 4 pi r square. If diameter is given to you, r is said to be d by 2. It would be pi by 4 d4 d square. Pi by 4 d square. So d is given to you, that is 3 meter. Pi by 4 into 3 square. You will get the aperture. So it would be equal to pi by 4 into 9. You can say it as it is equals to 9 pi by 4. 9 pi by 4. Now what about the lambda? C is equals to mu lambda or f lambda, you have already studied. Velocity of light is always equals to product of frequency and wavelength. So here you can compute the lambda. Lambda is equals to C by F. C is what? Velocity of light. Velocity of light is always fixed. That is 3 into 10 raised to power 8 meter per second. 3 into 10 raised to power 8 meter per second. But what is the frequency? Frequency is given to you 5 gigahertz, means 5 into 10 raised to power 9. From here you can get the value of lambda, that is equals to 3 by 50, 6 by 100, 0.06. So you have to substitute these values and this, and then you will get the value of G as desired. Because K is 1, your formula has been converted to 4 pi by lambda square A maximum. What is the A maximum? Its area we have computed. Its area we have computed, value of lambda has been computed. You have to substitute these values. You will get the value of G. So gain of the antenna has been computed. Any student has any query related to this numerical, feel free to ask. Understood to everyone? Kindly respond.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So we will pursue for the next numerical. If thin dipole antenna is, if thin dipole antenna is lambda by 15 long, if its loss resistance is 15 ohm, its loss resistance is 1.5 ohm. Find the radiation resistance and efficiency. Find the radiation resistance and efficiency. Efficiency is denoted by theta. Radiation resistance is denoted by R with subscript small r. So loss resistance is given to you. Radiation resistance for the dipole is always equals to RL 80 pi dl by lambda square. Lambda square whole square. Pi dl by lambda whole square. What about the dl change in length has been given to you lambda by 15. This has been given to you lambda by 15. So we will substitute these values over here. This would be 80 pi. What about the dl? dl is given to you lambda by 15. Lambda by 15 upon lambda whole square. If you will solve this, multiply this, you will get radiation resistance is equals to 3.5 ohm. You will get radiation resistance is equals to 3.5 ohm. So next is efficiency. Efficiency, this we have already done in the previous numericals. What about the efficiency if radiation resistance and loss resistance has been given to you? That is always a ratio of radiation resistance to the sum of radiation resistance and loss resistance. Here you have to substitute these values. 3.5 divided by 3.5 plus 1.5, 3.5 over 5, 3.5. If I multiply and divide the numerator with 2, it would be easy for me to solve 7 by 10. Its value is 0.7. Its value is 0.7. So efficiency is 0.7. Efficiency we have computed by using the radiation resistance and loss resistance, because radiation resistance divided by sum of radiation resistance and loss resistance leads to the efficiency, and we have computed it as 0.7. If we have to describe in the form of percentage, it would be 0.7 multiply by 100, it would be 70%. It would be 70%. So till here, any student has any query, feel free to ask.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Very good. So we will pursue for the next numerical. Calculate the. Parallelly, you have to note this what I am solving on the board. It would be easy for you to understand the concept while you are revising the contents for your examination. Calculate the quality factor of antenna. You have to calculate the quality factor of antenna. For that, what is given to you? If it has bandwidth of 600 kilohertz, bandwidth is 600 kilohertz, and radiation resistance 50 ohm, radiation resistance 50 ohm, current drawn is 8 ampere. Current drawn is 8 ampere. I repeat, calculate the quality factor if it has bandwidth of 600 kilohertz and it has a cutoff frequency, not radiation resistance. It has cutoff frequency of 30 megahertz. It has this frequency, 30 megahertz. So what about the quality factor? That is equals to FR by delta F. FR by delta F. What is the FR? FR has been given to you 30 megahertz. FR is given to you 30 megahertz. And this is the delta F is a bandwidth. Delta F is a bandwidth. It has been given to you. What is given to you? This is 600 kilohertz. So FR is what? 30 into 10 raised to power 6 divided by delta F means bandwidth 600 into 10 raised to power 3. So you have to put the value of, substitute the value of FR as well as bandwidth. FR is given to you 330 megahertz and bandwidth is given to you 600 kilohertz. You can substitute these values. You will get 30 into 10 raised to power 3 by 600, 30 into 10 by 6. So its answer is 50. So its quality factor, what we have to compute with the given specifications. Specification is bandwidth is given to you and frequency, resonant frequency is given to you. You have to find out the its value, that is equals to this, because antenna always work at the resonant frequencies. That's why it is given FR. Q is equals to FR by bandwidth. You can also write in the form of Q is equals to FR by bandwidth, or bandwidth has delta F. Till here, any student has any query, feel free to ask.
No,
Understood
sir.
to everyone? Good.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Next is calculate the radiated power of antenna. Calculate the radiated power of antenna. With the specification radiation resistance 50 ohm, radiation resistance 50 ohm, and current drawn is 8 ampere. Calculate the radiated power of antenna. If radiation resistance is 50 ohm and current drawn is 8 ampere. So there is a simple formula. I and R is given to you. So basic question, radiated power is denoted by WR, that is I square R. Here R is given RR. So you have to simply substitute the values. You will get 64 into 50 and its answer is 32001. You have to simply substitute the values as resistance is given to you, current is given to you. You have to substitute over here. You will get the radiated part. Next is a 6 feet paraboloid reflector is to be used at 6 hertz. Is to be used as 6 gigahertz. 6 feet.
Sir, repeat करना please एक बार.
Okay. Listen. A 6 feet paraboloid reflector. 6 feet paraboloid reflector paraboloid reflector is to be used at 6 gigahertz. Calculate the beam width. You have to calculate the beam width. Calculate the beam width between first nulls. Beam width between first nulls. Also calculate the gain of antenna. Also calculate the gain of antenna. So I repeat the question. 6 feet parabolic reflector has been given to you, whose frequency is 6 gigahertz. You have to find out the beam width between the first nulls and gain. So 6 feet is approximately equal to 1.83 meter. It may be given to you in your paper. It will be written as 6 feet in bracket 1.83 meter. So D has been given to you 1.83 or 1.83 meter. Then bandwidth between first nulls, BWFN is equals to 140 lambda by D. 140 lambda by D. So what about the lambda? As we have already computed in the previous numericals, how you can compute the lambda? C is equals to F lambda. Lambda will be equal to C by F. C is equals to F lambda. Lambda would be equal to C by F. So here C is what? Velocity of light. 3 into 10 raised to power 8. And frequency is what? 6 gigahertz. You have to substitute 6 into 10 raised to power 6. From here, you will get lambda is equals to giga is 10 raised to power 9. You will get 3 by 60, 1 by 20. 3 by 60, 1 by 20. So lambda is equals to 1 by 20. You have to substitute over here 140 into 1 by 20. And what about the D? D is 1.83. If you will substitute these values, you will get bandwidth between first nulls. It is equals to 3.88. It is equal to 3.88. Now, what next is required? We have computed bandwidth between first nulls. So I repeat that it is equals to 140 lambda by D. D is given to you. D is given to you 1.83 meter. And you need to compute the value of lambda. Lambda is always equals to C by F. C is velocity of light. Its value is fixed 3 into 10 raised to power 8 meter per second. What about the frequency? Frequency has been given to you 6 gigahertz. Substitute that value 6 into 10 raised to power 9. You will get it is equals to 1 by 20. Substitute over here. Now next is you have to find the gain. Gain is equals to, it is denoted by GP 6.389 into D by lambda square. d by lambda square. Gain is 6.389 into d by lambda square. We have the value of d, that is 1.83. 6.389 multiplied by 1.83, and we have the value of lambda, that is 1 by 20. It would be multiplied by 20 raised to power 2 or square. If you will solve this, you will get its value 8558. And if you will convert it into the decibels, or you can convert it into the decibels. If it is given to you, fine, you have to compute it into the decimals. If it is not given to you, again, maximum try to write the gain in decibels. 10 log with base 10, whatever the value you have computed, it will convert it into the decibels. So till here, any student has any query, feel free to ask. Any student has any query till here, feel
No,
free
sir.
to ask. Students, till here contents are understood to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Great. So moving towards the PPT, what has been explained on displayed on your screen. We know that how we can evaluate the antenna. Evaluate the antenna. It is based on its performance parameters. Based on its performance parameters, and its performance parameters, we have already exercised the numericals based on it. Next, how you can design an antenna. How you can design an antenna. First of all, to design any hardware, it is required to design it in the software, that is simulation. So first of all, you should have to simulate the antenna. How you can simulate? By using the simulation tool. Commonly used simulation tool is HFSS, High Frequency Structure Simulator. High frequency structure simulators, though there is any higher versions are available. So I have worked on this HFSS V13. It is industry standard simulation tool. So what are the design steps? If you need to design any antenna, first of all, you have to create its substrate. Create substrate. After creating the substrate, what is required? Assign dimensions. After creating the substrate, what is required? You have to assign the dimensions. If dimension is assigned, because there is a various type of the materials are available. So presently, which is most economical and gives the average performance, that is FR4. Its full form is flame redundant. FR4 means after that you have to assign material. Assign material. After assigning material, then you have to create the patch. Create the patch. So patch is always created on the, let us say this is the substrate. You have assigned the dimensions. Length and breadth has been assigned to it. Material, let us say I have used the FR4, it is easily available and gives the average performance and economical also. Then you have to create a patch. As I told you that patch may be of any type as per your wish. So let us say a circular patch is being used. Create the patch, then assign the boundaries. Assign the boundaries. So its boundaries is, let us say, if radius is being assigned to it. Then there is a feed line. This is the feed line. from where excitation will occur. As we have already discussed, there is broadly we classified the feed lines as contacting and non-contacting. In contacting, we use line feed or microstrip line feed, and second one is coaxial. Normally we use contacting. So create the field line. Then you have to unite this. This should has to be united. Create the feed line. Then you have to unite it. After uniting, assign the ground plane. Where it will be. This is the ground plane. After uniting, you have to assign the ground plane. Then you have to give the excitation. After that, you have to give the excitation. Then there is a ground plane. It would be in the radiation box. From there, it will transmit or receive the signal. It would be in the radiation box. These are the design steps which are used in the high frequency structure simulator. So here on your screen, you can see that Sierpinski carpet. The fractal geometry has been created whose radius is 12.6 mm. Why it is said to be fractal? Because you can see that this circles Rn repeating itself after certain interval or particular scale. These are the formulas to compute its radius, and you can find the value of f, which is 8.791 into 10 raised to power 9 fr into epsilon r under the root. So this is the antenna. You can see that this is the antenna. It is printed on the PCB. This is its patch. This would be its ground plane. This would be its patch. And this is the feed line which is being united with it, and you are required to connect the SMA connector. If connector is not there, you cannot apply the feed from here. So this is the feed line which is united with it. Students, all of you are getting what I'm showing to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So these are the dimensions. You can see that width of substrate. This is your substrate, WS, LS. Its width would be more. So insect cut, one cut has been used. So this is also used to improve the performance of antenna. This is vector network analyzer. You have also worked in your lab. If you do remember that, we have also worked on it to measure the dimensions of antenna. So by using it, we can measure its reflection coefficient, which should always be less than -10 dB. From here, you can see that where my cursor is moving, this is less than -10 dB. So it means solid line is shown for the simulated results, dotted line is shown for the measured results. From this figure, you can find that for the solid line simulated, first one frequency, second, third, so it can resonate on these three frequencies. As for the simulation is concerned, because below -10 dB, you have to see first, second, third, fourth. Similarly, VSWR, reflection coefficient, VSWR for the has been shown over here. So graphically, we can show it in this form for the better understanding. Here you can check that there is an A, 3 frequencies for the simulated and 4 for the measured. Corresponding reflection coefficient has been shown in the table. VSWR should never exceed than 2. Otherwise, your antenna will not be operational. You can check that in all the values, whatever has been given in the table under the VSWR column, that are all are less than 2. So this is the comparison and measure results. Inset cut and without inset cut, I told you that what is a cut. This is a special type of cut has been generated in this antenna or created in this antenna to enhance its performance, you can see that its performance has been increased. Without inset cut, simulated is operating for 3 frequencies. With inset cut, simulated is operating for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frequencies. So from here you can see that what is the role of inset cut. Parallelly, gain of antenna. It is also a very, very vital parameter. Gain of any antenna. If your reflection coefficient is coming below minus 10 dB, but if its gain is not positive, then that band is not useful for any practical application. So here you can see that its gain is 9.7 into 10 raised to power minus 1 means 0.97. So this would be useful. Positive value of gain. This would be 5.32. It's a positive value of gain. So this cannot be useful because minus 8.98. 2.96 is useful. This one is not useful. Wherever you will get the positive value of the gain, it is useful for the practical applications and has been shown in this form also. At frequency 2.91, its gain is this. 4.82, its gain is this. 7.29, its gain is this. So it means how you can check that its gain is useful to us. So at the last, if you do remember that in this PPT, I told you that how to evaluate the antenna, to make the comparison of existing designs based on above given parameters. Let us say you have designed one antenna. This is your antenna. Its name has been given proposed Sierpinski carpet circular antenna. It has been compared with the similar kind of existing antennas. You can see it's at reference number 28, there is one antenna. Reference number 35, there is a one antenna. 57, 58, 92, and 122. So at reference number 28, it is workable for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frequencies, different frequencies, but its gain is not mentioned. So we cannot say that either it will be practically useful or not. Here, this proposed antenna can work for 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 frequencies. Third one, second one, 30 at 35th position, 3.69, 35th reference, 3.6. Operational for similarly in this way we can compare. In this way, we can compare. So what is the conclusion you can make from this? So we can also make the conclusion in such field line is better. Antenna is designed at 3.2 gigahertz, but it also operates at 2.9 gigahertz. If my design frequency is 3.2, and understand it carefully, but if designed antenna is functional below these frequencies, so it means you can reduce the size of antenna. So this also plays an important role in the miniaturization or reduction of the size. In this case, we can compute that its values 21% reduction in size. And for 2.1 to 2.95, this band is applicable for the Bluetooth. Proposed antenna can be useful for the Bluetooth. 4.82 to 5.9 gigahertz WLAN. C band is 4 to 8 gigahertz. Antenna is useful for these applications. So right now there is a time for the poll questions. Students, kindly get ready for your poll questions. Here is the first poll question on your screen. Your time starts now. Kindly answer it in stipulated period of time. Students, answer it quickly. Only 10 seconds to go. Fast. I will terminate this poll within 5 seconds. Okay, thank you, dear students. So right answer is omnidirectional antenna. Next poll question is here on your screen. Your time starts now. Students, last 10 seconds to go. Answer it quickly. I will end this poll within 5 seconds. Okay, thank you. Right answer is last option. Next question is here on your screen. Your time starts now. Students, I'm going to end this poll within 5 seconds. Okay, thank you. Last poll question is here on your screen. Your time starts now. Answer it quickly, students. Students, answer it quickly. Very last time to go. Only 5 seconds to go. Okay, thank you, dear students. So right answer is 800 megahertz. I believe contents are well understood to everyone.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
In case if you have any sort of query, feel free to message me, call me. Till then,
Okay,
you
sir.
should have to take very good care of yourself. You should have to stay home, stay safe. Right,
Okay,
dear
sir.
students? Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, dear students, I'm going to end this meet now. Thank you. Thank you, all of you.